Now, Caliban is a amazing frame, but not everybody likes him. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about a few reasons I found that people don't like Caliban. Now, first off, I'll get it out of the way. Not everyone likes his passive. Now, this isn't something I've heard a lot, but I heard enough times that I feel I should throw it in. His passive is simple. Allies within affinity range gain up to 50% resistance to the types of damage they're currently taking. That's essentially adaptation, just a little bit worse. Now, this grants it to him and allies, so I feel it's a pretty good passive, but 50% is just not worth it. And for yourself, you could just throw on adaptation if you want to shield and health tank easier. Of course, your allies still get the benefit, but you now have a 90% damage reduction. Meanwhile, they only have 50. Personally, I think it's quite fine, but not everybody feels that way. And so I felt I should mention that because I do agree that it could be just a little bit better. But with most frames having their own form of damage reduction or invulnerability, survivability, 50% should be more than enough when it comes to higher level gameplay. Next is his high energy costs and management. Now, he has a poor base energy and expensive abilities, which require, some would say, heavy investment. I would say it's a little bit tedious, but with his augment, it's kind of squared away. His base energy is 225, no different than others, but his abilities are quite insane, with two of them being 50, one being 100, and then one being 25. Now, that's not that big of a deal. 25 is normal, and for the last one being 100, that's also normal, but 250s that you also will probably use quite often, it's a bit steep. Now, the way to combat this is quite simple. Razor Motor and Archon Stretch. This will give you all the energy you need to survive quite efficiently. But if somebody doesn't want Razor Motor on their build, then obviously they're going to have a problem with their high energy costs. And now the next thing I'm going to focus on is quite important. It's one of the most important ones, which is why it's towards the end of the video. His AI for his drones, his sentinels, is just not that good. It suffers from the same thing all AI suffer from in this game. It's a bit slow, it's a bit unimpressive. They don't do too well. Now, it's not that big of a deal. They still do their job quite well, especially the Conquilists drawing aggro and the Summonlists obviously granting shields, and the Ortholists basically priming the enemies and just doing a shit ton of tower damage. But it doesn't change the fact that sometimes when push comes to shove, they kind of fuck off and do their own thing, which is a bit annoying. And so one of the last things I want to focus on is his abilities. A couple, I wouldn't say underwhelming, but interchangeable. You see, his second with crowd control and his fourth with armor stripping, these can be done at the same level, if not better, by other frames. So a lot of people would prefer to go them rather than Caliban because he looks like a stepped on potato. And with a lot of these other frames that have the same abilities, being able to nuke just the same, he doesn't really have anything going for him other than the fact that he has summons, which is his whole gimmick. If you like summons, if you like being able to have allies that can take extra aggro, Caliban would work great for you. He's kind of a jack of all trades in that manner. But again, other frames can nuke, they can crowd control, they can armor strip just as easily as Caliban, if not even a little better, and they don't look like shit. And now the very last thing I want to focus on is his acquisition. Getting Caliban means you either have to buy him with plat, farm his prime, but if you want base Caliban, you need to farm armor bounties, which suck. Now, they're not hard, bounties are easy, they're whatever, but farming bounties for Warframe has always sucked. It's just the way it is. It takes hours and hours, and each bounty takes like 10 minutes. It's horrible. It's just not good. I don't know what else to say regarding that. This is my own personal opinion, so it might be an L take, but it's just I hate farming the armor bounties. And so with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. Tell me, what do you think about Caliban? Do you love him? Do you hate him? Is there a frame that you just love much, much more? And with that being said, until next time.